loves, and happy Juneteenth. Juneteenth. So what is Juneteenth? So it is a holiday that finally became a federal holiday very recently, um, uh, by Joe Biden, President Biden, which a dear friend of mine is not happy with him at all as president because he didn't do anything about us funding certain things. But anyway, because I had made these, so I have been making these, what I used to think was like a junk journal. It was called I thought it was called a junk journal because that's how I learned about them. And when I was at the Berkeley, the Bay Area Festival of Books, I did a little mini like talk on the making of zines, and I had no idea that I was making zines. Okay, and so, gosh, I don't know if I'm actually gonna have the one that I like handy. Let me see. I actually don't. But I have other ones. So my friend and I had gone to the Bay Area Book Festival and done the Zen making, and I ended up making this Zen book for she and I. And then I put in all, the people that we saw, which this is Walter Riley and his son Boots Riley, who were both civil rights activists. Walter Riley lived in, I think, South Carolina in the middle of the civil rights movement. And then I ended up buying this little print for my daughter. And then we got the opportunity to see this author. Her name is Tatiana Tabulek or something of that nature. She's written many books. She was just amazing. And then us again in boat, and then the back. So that is a zine. So I am making a zine for the people who come to our little, okay, I gotta back up. Okay, so I'm part of the MLK committee, the Martin Luther King committee in the town I live in. And we do several different things a year. Like we do the MLK celebration on his birthday in January. And then we do Juneteenth. And I'm really excited. So tonight we have a panel of speakers and also a dance. So like we have 2 hours and a panel of speaker and then a dance. And I was just thinking about, like, I don't think that many people really know what Juneteenth was about. Like, to be honest, I'm not sure that a lot of people know what Juneteenth is about. And so that's why I wanted to make, even though they're coming to our little celebration, I wanted to make these zines. Is it a zine? I think it's a zine. I think it's a zine. I called them junk journals. Anyway, so I went in and I found meaningful things to me regarding Juneteenth. And then I actually have started doing this thing where I put them initially on the paper. So this one that I made for my best friend, I put on the paper that we had gotten from the event. And so I had gotten this from the event. So I ended up using that paper to actually make the zine. And I did the same thing with this, only I forgot to bring it. I forgot to bring it, but anyway, so I started to make copies of the original instead of I'm not going to make, because I'm making at least 20 for this event just to give out about Juneteenth. So the Emancipation Proclamation had been signed 2 years earlier, and Juneteenth was the day. I want to make sure I have this right. It was on June 19th of 1865 that Texas first learned about slavery, that slavery had been abolished. And so people have been celebrating this holiday for years, but our country as it is takes a long time to catch up. Anyway, so you have to put, if you want to make zines, which are super fun, by the way, and giving them to each other, or you want one for an event that you're putting together, you have to put everything opposite. So like you put 4 things this way and then 4 things this way, and then you end up folding it in the middle. So I'm going to put this down here. I don't know. I guess I could have you be able to watch a little bit. So you fold it in half. And then you fold it in half this way too. You fold it in half, lengthwise and half-wise, I guess. Okay. And then you fold them again. So then you fold them into each other. So you fold them into each other. See how that is? And then you fold the other side into it as well. Sometimes it's hard for me. I got new glasses. For those of you who have been following me a long time, I don't know how many of you have actually been following me a long time, but I got new glasses and I love them, but I'm not sure about them. They're progressive, because my glasses have always been, I have to wear trifocals. Oh God. And I remember my dad always complaining. He had to wear trifocals too. And he complained about them bitterly. Because you have to move you literally have to move your face. So in order to read, you have to look up like this. And then if you're looking far, it's this way. And then a computer screen's in the middle. But these ones don't have the lines, and so it just kind of shades down, and I'm getting used to them. Okay, so I have it kind of like a kite. Remember when you were a kid and you made a kite? And I'm going to take these middle ones and I'm going to cut them with my trusty little scissors. I'm going to cut it just to here. So you've got it all folded up, and you want to cut it just to the middle. So then you cut, bam. So see how it's just there's just this opening right in the middle. You can see that. Okay, then I've kind of found that it helps me to actually fold these multiple ways, because you're going to see what I'm going to do with it. This is so much fun, actually. I have to make 20 of them. Actually, I have 25 because I want to. So then you fold them into each other, kind of like a star, like that. And then you kind of fold them into each other. And you have to be a little careful because you want your front and your back. So I want this front, which is so beautiful. Look at that. And then this back, which is our actual event. So I want those to be on the outside of this. So I have to kind of maneuver it a little in order to have it line up. So this may mean that you have to fold differently to like make it like all fold up. See? Okay, and then so then I've got like facts about Juneteenth. So I got my cover, facts about Juneteenth. Then I have the events that we have 3 different events this weekend in the next 2 days. So one is after this Dark Oxygen. She's going to be doing a dance. I think it's some kind of a dance. And then we have a fundraiser. And then I have more facts about Juneteenth and these beautiful pictures of these people who have their freedom. And then the back part is our event. And I was really excited to give these to my teammates because then it'll remind them. And it's so nice because it's just really small. Like, I know we all have too much stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we all just literally have too much stuff. It's like, I don't, you know, we don't want some big thing, right? But this has everything in it. Okay, so once I have it folded, I've kind of gotten this down a little bit to an art. I'm gonna move this. Of how to glue it, because I like to glue them. I want them like pretty solid. And so the way that I do that is I close it, and I've got my glue stick. And then I just kind of open it just enough. See how let me see if I can go there so you can actually see what I'm doing. So I go a little bit lower, and then I put like just a strip, and then I put that down, and then this down. And I wait for the last one. Because I want them all to line up. And then I do, I'm just really hoping you can see me. I don't know. And then I do the last little strip here. And I make sure that these little corners are all lined up. And then I fold it over. And what I do, because I like them pretty flat, I'm trying to find my, is I get a book and I put them in a book. And for some reason, I don't have all my stuff here. I guess I could put them in the Holy Bible, right? I'll put my Zen in my Bible that I have right here. So there we go. My first Zen is, okay, so what I found in this process, and I like them in color a lot more, but I went over to Staples, and my color pictures were like, they were like over $1 a piece. And then I did one of theirs over at Staples in black and white, and which I don't like as much. I mean, they're okay. Looks like an old newspaper, right? But they were both so expensive. So what I ended up doing, and here was the other thing, just a word to the wise about this process. So this one is done, like I'm going to show you on, this one is bigger because I found that some of them were too small and you wouldn't be able to read them. So I did them on 11 by 14 paper. And so I decided in this project that I was going to kind of do them as inexpensively as humanly possible. And so, which I'm not saying whether that's right or not, but anyway, so I did them, I made sure that the paper was just like an 8 by 11, and they come out really small. Here's one that I made for my students. And I had all of these prototypes because I was practicing. But I wanted to send, I'm a counselor at a high school, and I wanted to send my students home with something so that they could remember what we had spoken about. And so, and it's just so small. And I had one of my students, she was just so cute. She did this a couple times in her time with me, where she popped it in the back between her cell phone and her screensaver. Isn't that so smart? It was smart. It was small enough to do that she could just pop it in there. Okay, so I'm gonna make one more. Okay, so remember, we just fold it in half, which I'm gonna have to move these because I'm not seeing very well right this hot minute with my new glasses that I hope I end up liking. I do like them. They are Kate Spade, who I have to say I'm not hugely into name brands. In fact, I'm just one of these people that kind of does the opposite. I don't wear stuff with a label on very often. But I love her. And I was so sad when she passed. They had found her deceased and had called it a suicide. I know this is very sad, but and in my investigations about that, like I started to look into it. I was like, what happened? Like it was so weird. And she and her husband looked dreadfully unhappy. Like so. Anyway, okay. So remember, you folded the whole thing in half, and then you fold it both ways, and then you fold it into itself. And I'm going to do that again. But anyway, so this lady who I just adore, she sold me my last 2 glasses. So I had these glasses years ago, and I had bought the frames twice because I loved them so much, and had them, my glasses, like put into the new frames and everything. And the second broke. They just were always breaking. And I don't know why companies do this. I just don't know why they do this, but they don't make them anymore. They just quit making them. And so I could not replace my glasses anymore. I looked for them everywhere. And then I was told by somebody that I could have a jeweler like fix them, but that they would never fold. They would just always have to be sticking out, and I didn't want to do that. So all right, and then you fold it this way. And so I finally went in, and this lady sold me, actually I ended up buying 2 pairs of glasses from her that I love. My glasses are kind of like jewelry. Okay, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it to the center. And then bring this out. And then I'm going to do that thing again where I make it into a star. Here we go. Yeah, so this will give the people that come to our event today a little bit of an understanding. Like, I think a lot of them that are there are going to already know about Juneteenth, but my history is terrible. I don't really know that much about Juneteenth. So I'm going to say again, it was 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. They went to Texas and they let these people in Texas know that they were free. So on June 19th of 1865, Juneteenth, also known as Juneteenth Independence Day or Freedom Day, marks the day on which the slaves in Texas first learned that slavery had been abolished. Sometimes I just don't know. I honestly just don't know how the people of color in this are so gracious. Like, I had read Martin Luther King's letter from prison. You should, if you're interested in this kind of thing, you should read it. I mean, he had been thrown in jail because he supposedly didn't get a permit to have a protest, and he did get a permit to have a protest, but they said he didn't get the permit, so they threw him in jail again. And he wrote the most beautiful, I mean beautiful letter, and I often wonder, okay, so I'm gonna do this gluing. I often wonder, like, did he ever lose his temper? That guy just came off as like so gracious and like just so calm, and like after all that they had gone through, Kate and John Lewis getting beat up in Selma. I don't know the history as well as I should. And then it was really cool when I was showing you all the Zen I made for my zine. No, I think it's a Zen. I made for my best friend because I had gone to visit her, and we had gone to the book festival in Berkeley, the Bay Area Book Festival, and we got to meet, like, we went to a bunch of, okay, so it's done. I did a black and white one. I'm going to give away a few black and whites because I don't want to put any more, and I forgot to tell you. So I ended up just bringing it home and made copies in my own printer. And they're not bad. They're not bad, but I didn't want to like completely overload my very, very old printer. I mean, it still works, but anyway, but I also, so I'm going to just, when they run out, they just run out. But I wanted to have 5 for my teammates that I do these festivals with, or all this with, on the Martin Luther King, committee. Yeah, I had gone to the Martin Luther King celebration. We do like a little walk too. In 25. And that's when I joined this group. My activism really, if it wasn't there before, it really went over the roof that January of 2025. And so we just did, like, so I was part of this last celebration in January, and it was so beautiful, and the people there are so gracious. And we had this person named Truth Be Told. He is a speaker. I think he lives in Phoenix. And he and his family came, his wife and his child, and all of them are the most precious people you could ever meet. And all the people on this committee are just first-rate humans. And so I feel super lucky to be a part of it. So I go to like meetings every month, and then some months are a little bit more intense, like this one. Oh, and they've also asked me to help with the social media, which is going better. I've been able to upload a couple of things on their social media, and I was thinking about taking some like really cool pictures today and uploading them on social media. Anyway, so that's that. That's how you make a zine, and then it just helps to press them. I think it also helps for like the glue to like really take effect. And they're just these nice little books. Anyway, I appreciate you. I'm gonna go.